there's nothing that I had tried from your stuff that I hated. You know, I tell you.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Homemade brews and various how-tos, everything from meat to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.
On this episode of Doing the Most, we are completing our collab with Mean Brews, where we both brewed an Italian grape ale, shipped each other bottles, and then did a tasting. Enjoy.
Like you said in your video, the style's all over the place. There's no real set definition. It can be a Belgian style with grape juice, or it can be an English style, or I chose a lager. So I was going for like toast on jam, and I
Okay.
didn't know what the balance should be. So it's almost 100% Vienna malts as the base malt, which gives you that graham cracker type flavors. And then I added some Crystal 80, which gives you the raisin type flavors.
Oh.
A little bit of Special B, because Special B is known for that raisin flavor. And then as I was brewing it, it's all grain. So as I was boiling it, I tasted it and I said I didn't have enough grape juice in there because it was more beer than it was, or more warty than it was musty, right? I used Concord grape juice.
Okay, I
And
was wondering because I
yeah,
think you had mentioned in an email that you might do that.
yeah, I was going to use, I make a piment with Concord grape juice and honey, just straight
Okay.
up concentrate. And it is fantastic. And I wanted to try to do that again with this beer, but I couldn't get the concentrate. None of the stores had it. So I ended up using Cadine juice, which is 100% Concord grape with no preservatives. And I
Okay.
wanted the balance. So I ended up doubling the amount of grapes in there. I think I put too much. But it ended up all right. I mean, this is the picture here behind me of the
Yeah.
finished product. So were you able to find your recipe? Maybe to just
Yeah, I
refresh
do. I
people.
do. I've got it. I got it pulled up. So I did an extract recipe because I'm just not set up for all grain. So I used 6.6 pounds of pale ale liquid malt extract and 5 pounds of Riesling concentrate that was left over from a Riesling kit that I used to make a piment with a friend of mine who was learning how to brew. And
Yeah,
then did
yeah.
a little bit of specialty grains. So we did 4 ounces of just wheat, 8 ounce of Belgian biscuit, and 8 ounce of Crystal 90L. All of that was like recommended. It seemed to come up
Yeah.
often when I looked for Italian grape ale recipes. So I figured, why break something that if it's not broken? Why reinvent the wheel anyway? But I am not an expert at crafting beer recipes. So
That's pretty smart.
this was my I kind of took your suggestion as a challenge. So I kind of borrowed from recipes
Awesome.
that I found online and then did the Riesling concentrate as my own kind of riff on it. And then for hops, I used Cascade for bittering, and then I used wai-iti for the aroma hops. That's a hop that I had never used, but man, when you open that thing up, the aroma in that is so intense. It's like perfumey, and it's got like apricot, pear kind of
Yeah.
like, it's a really nice, and I think this was like it was like 2% alpha acid, like it was a real low alpha acid hop. So it was an interesting choice, I felt like.
Yeah, I forgot to give you my hops. I just did a bittering charge with Haller Mittelfrüh, which is my favorite German hop. It's
Okay.
pretty much the only one I use. And then for yeast, I use the Oktoberfest yeast from White Labs, 820.
Okay.
And I brewed it as a lager, and it came out really clean. Um, so I hope you like it. What yeast did you end up using with
I
yours?
ended up using a Kvike yeast,
Right,
and
that's right.
it was one that I had washed and dried myself. And so
Which like strain did you use? Do you know?
this one I used Hornindal in.
Hornindal. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. All
So
right, so which one should we try first?
let's start with
Do you have a
yours.
Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna hold them up so the camera can see.
Oh my, they look very similar.
Yeah, so this one is yours. It's in a chilled glass, so it's like a little
Okay.
frosty looking. Again, try and get some of the condensation off of there. Pretty darn similar.
Pretty see-through.
Yeah. And yours, I'm noticing that yours has a much stronger cascade of bubbles than the one that I poured off my keg here.
Oh yeah, pretty well carbonated.
Yeah.
Don't know if that was intentional or residual sugars. Get grape right off the front.
I mean, you're right about that, like jammy kind of aromatic on the nose, anyway.
Yeah, it smells good.
Yeah, smells like beer.
Smells great. Smells, yeah.
Oh, that
It's not
drink's
bad.
so much different than the one I put together. You're right. There
Oh,
are
really?
some of those kind of crackery, graham crackery, bready notes that kind of hit at the back of the palate. But the middle,
Yes.
that wash over, is all grape. It's a real good,
It's all great.
yeah.
I wish it were balanced more on the beer side. I'm a beer guy, right? But you do get the graham cracker in the back end of the taste. I want more of that. So I might put some biscuit in there if I did this again, just to get some more cracker flavor into the beer. So yeah.
Yeah, I
And
like that
the
a lot.
lager,
You're right. It's got a PB&J kind of thing going on. I think I might want a little bit more body on it, but I like chewy beers. Just something to like elevate that grape flavor just a little bit, which may, bolstering up that grain for the graham cracker may be enough to build the body underneath that too.
I could make it a little bigger, I mean, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm really pleased with this. I would have more than one. That's for sure.
Thanks. I like it. Like I said, I think it turned out better than I expected. The one thing that detracts to me is there's a little bit of astringency from the grapes, which is expected. But to me, it's just a flavor that if I didn't have that, it would be a much smoother thing to drink.
Interesting. See, I kind of like that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe that's because I come from the like wine and mead world more than beers, but I like that kind of. It's right at the front of your tongue, that kind of astringent kind of sensation.
Yeah. I made a jasmine tea mead, and if you want to know what astringency is, I'll send you a bottle of that thing.
Yeah.
It is super astringent. But
get you right back here.
Oh gosh, your whole mouth just kind of implodes,
Yeah. Oh, I'm into that. So do you wanna try the Riesling?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
variant?
try the Riesling.
So we had done a piment with Riesling and orange blossom honey, and the kit we ordered was supposed to be a low-bodied Riesling kit, and what we got sent was a medium-bodied Riesling kit. So we ended up not using all the Riesling. So when you said let's do a grape ale, I thought, oh, what better way to use up the rest of the Riesling than to throw it into my wort.
It smells more. I actually get more wort type or malt or beer type aromas than I do the grape, which is the opposite of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yours is all grape on the nose. This has like a malty kind of, this is going to sound bad, but I can talk bad about my own beer since I'm not a beer guy, but it kind of smells like that kind of stale beer smell that you smell as you're leaving a baseball park after the game.
Kind of liken it to extract twang, what we call it.
Okay.
So you can almost tell extract beer.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Well, I'm going to go in for a taste. Ooh, that's smooth.
Mine had a little extra time to sit around.
Yeah, that's good. It doesn't, because you use Riesling grapes, it doesn't have that astringency that I don't like about mine. And it's more grape, it's more it's subtle grape, but it's better balanced, I think, than mine, between the maltiness and the grape, or the mustiness, I guess.
Yeah, and that
Yeah, that's
may be
good.
because I think mine is what, about a month and a half older than yours. So it had,
Yeah,
I think, some time to sit and mellow a little bit.
I like that one. That's really good. This may be a style I'll explore some more now. I like the Riesling. I think the Riesling hop pairing, you nailed it. You know,
Yeah,
that
the wai-iti is
fruitiness.
interesting. It kind of comes in at the back of your tongue there on the exhale. And so it's like
That's good.
kind of a malty Riesling washing back. And then when you exhale, you're getting those hop aromatics and almost the sourness of the Riesling. Whereas yours
Yeah,
kind of washes
yours is,
down like a peanut butter sandwich, peanut butter jelly sandwich. They're
mine's really
so
dry, and
different.
yours. I know, it's unbelievable. I mean, mine is. They look very similar, but
They
they're very
do.
different tastes. Mine is a lot drier, and yours has much more body. I love the body in yours. They're both good.
Yeah, I wish I could account for
Well done.
what
Oh,
thanks. I'm going to
definitely.
take the compliment from you as the reigning beer expert. I, I have not brewed a lot of beers in my time, so this one was definitely a challenge.
Well, when this
And
whole thing's over, when this whole thing's over, I'll have to come up there and we'll brew an all grain batch together
oh hell yeah, I
and
would be into that.
do it collab that way.
I'd be very into that. Yeah, because we could, like you said, it's a style that I'm interested in exploring more. I saw that Genus Brewing on their channel had done grape ale recently, and then it seems to be popping up here and there. Like I'm getting folks that have hit me up that they've been searching for grape ale stuff, and obviously there's not a lot on YouTube about it, so they land on my video on it. So it seems like for whatever reason, a style that is currently trending.
Yeah, it's something different. I've never personally had one, a commercial version of one. I think it's very regional, so it's very terroir type of stuff. They use
Yeah,
the grape they use the grapes from their region of Italy, which is, you know, very diverse. You know,
yeah.
they're all different. I don't know if you've ever been to Italy, but I've done some work
Mm-mm.
there, and you go to a restaurant, they're like, these are the wines from that vineyard right over there. And you're
That's
like, well, what
cool.
grapes are those? And it's something you never heard of before, you know?
Yeah,
So, I mean, if that's what they're doing with the beer, that's really cool. And that's something you can almost bring to, we've got, Texas has in Fredericksburg area, regional wineries, regional grapes. I mean, why not?
you've got Grapevine, Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
All kinds
I'm
of
sure
vineyards down
Oklahoma
there.
has.
Uh,
The one that he sent us is very unique, and I do like the fact that it tastes like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think his is probably more interesting technically,
got it.
but they both taste good.
So I agree with you. I think the Mean Brews version of this is technically, like when you come down to like the building of constructing this and
It's more complex.
how it's stratified on the palate is more interesting than what I put together. But they are so incredibly different.
They
Yeah.
are. They are.
His tastes more like something you would pay a lot of money for.
I don't know if you can hear what he said, but he said that your version tastes like something that you'd pay a lot of money for.
Well, okay. Set it up. Personally, I think they're like I said, they're both very different. I like them both about equally.
Yeah.
There's stuff that I like and don't like about each.
I appreciate the amount of work that you put into the research and like the charts and graphs and all the things that you show, because it's one of those things. I think every time I've recommended your channel to somebody, I've said this guy has done your homework for you. So
Yeah.
like, go watch the TED Talk, learn how to make that beer style, and then you'll be good to go.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think what I try to do is give people like lanes to stay in, not necessarily a route that they have to go on, to make sure they don't veer outside to something that is outside of a style. It's not really that you have to brew the recipe that I gave at the end of it. I wasn't even going to do a recipe until my homebrew friend said, you need to put a recipe at the end. I was just going to let people, know the ranges that they have to pretty much stay within to keep within the style.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of variation there that you're free to pick where you want to go based upon what you know about the ingredients. You want to go more malt forward or hop forward. There's ranges there, right?
Yeah.
But don't go outside of that, because you're probably going to brew something outside of style. It wouldn't make it bad. It would just make it outside of style. So that was the whole intent of the series. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of research, and to format it into a way that's digestible is a lot of work as well. So probably put in 10 times as much effort getting prepared for a video than actually doing the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's kind of where we're at. There's no way that I put in the amount of research and effort that you do to go into a video, but we do a lot of recipe testing, because when I publish a recipe, I want to make sure that folks can trust that it's going to turn out the same every time, and also give them, like you said, give them room to kind of play in the sandbox of that recipe too, by saying, if you want it to be a little bit more of this, you could do this. If you want it to be a little more of that, do that. Generally, I find that if I like it, David's going to like it. Other people are going to like it.
Maybe.
Well, I think that's important for anyone brewing either beer or mead or wine or whatever, is you're going to make a bad product, and the more you iterate, the more you're going to get to what you like.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Don't stop tweaking until you get to what you want. I've got out of the 130 some odd beer styles, I've got like 2 where I said I'm done.
Yeah.
The rest I'm still tweaking. I'm still like, okay, well, I need to up the IBUs or change this malt bill a little bit. But there's only really 2 out of all of those, and I've brewed probably 80 different beer styles.
Dang.
And only 2 of them that I think I'm done with. Yeah.
Well, thank you for all the work that you do. I appreciate it, because you're like I said, you're doing the homework for the rest of us.
I'm glad people are getting use out of it, doing it all for the love. And I appreciate you reaching out and doing this collab. This was fun. This was a lot of fun, doing something different, getting outside of the formula and really playing with ingredients.
Yeah.
I don't get to do that a lot. So
well, and so I think now
you
have 2 examples of a grape ale. Now the challenge, like you said, is to brew it a bunch more and zero in on what really, really works for this style.
That's right. And I'll share with you my recipe so you can post it if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Have a wonderful night. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you as always for watching. You can find us on Instagram and Pinterest at Doing the Most OK. Our website is doingthemost.org, and we've got a Discord at discord.doingthemost.org. Big shout out to our YouTube members and patrons. You all make this channel happen. We really appreciate it. Until next time, happy brewing.